Hi, from Stuart's Gardens in Simonstown on this fairly blustery spring afternoon. It's important that I prune first before I apply fertilizer. Well, it's now time for pruning these tomato plants. I also pruned them about a week ago, and as you can see, they've grown tremendously and they're ready now for the second pruning. This is a brandywine pink before pruning. Look how many suckers there are all over the place. This is the plant after pruning. Well, the pruning is now completed, and as you can see, the plants are looking a lot cleaner and I think a lot happier. It's quite interesting how many large suckers there were, which had grown in such a short time. Anyway, they're off now. And some of them, I've watered the bed as well, because this helps with the fertilization process. The requirements for thriving tomato plants is making the soil in which plants are to be grown fertile by providing the microbiological and organic materials needed by tomatoes, which I try to do when I prepare the soil for my raised beds. Fertilizing tomato plants is a contentious issue because no one system fits all, and gardeners use different techniques which they usually develop with experience. However, the basics are as follows. Tomato plants require 3 primary soil nutrient fertilizers to top up the nutrients in the soil used in making food to energize their activities during periods of high productivity like flowering and fruiting. These nutrients are nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, which often appear in the ratio of N to P to K. Nitrogen is crucial in the early stages, being responsible for vegetative growth. It helps plants to make the proteins they need to produce new tissues. If too much nitrogen is available, the plants may grow abundant foliage, but not produce fruit or flowers. Phosphorus stimulates root growth and is essential for stimulating abundant flowering and fruit production. Too much of it will obstruct the plant's ability to absorb nitrogen, resulting in limited growth of stem and foliage. Potassium helps regulate photosynthesis and, above all, the proper ripening of fruits. On the other hand, too much of it increases the fruit's acidity, and it helps the plants make carbohydrates and provides disease resistance. It also helps to regulate metabolic activities. Now, all of this seems highly complex, but fortunately, all of the requirements that you need, i.e. the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, can be purchased in various nurseries and other providers. And all you need to do is add according to instructions. So let's start fertilizing the plants. It's always good to use gloves with these substances because they're so highly concentrated that they can well damage you in some way, go through your skin and hurt you. Anyway, I went into a nursery nearby and asked them what was new on the market with regard to fertilizer for tomatoes. And they came up with this. They said they've had really good results with this. It's called Tailborn Organics, and it's a organic fertilizer, obviously a liquid fertilizer, which you can use with the drench method or through foliar spray. This fertilizer is for buds, flowers and fruit. The ratio is 4 to 1 to 6. The 4 to 1 to 6 ratio means that there is 4 parts of nitrogen, 1 part of phosphorus and 6 parts of potassium. With flowering plants, it seems as if an acceptable ratio of nitrogen to potassium, remember we need more potassium for flowers production, etc., is about 1 to 2-ish. So the 1 to 6 is okay. With regard to fruiting, a ratio of nitrogen to potassium about 4 to 6 is kind of acceptable. The thing that worries me is the phosphorus, which is down to 1. And phosphorus, we know, is very much involved with both flowering and fruiting and stabilizing of these components. So, what about? Well, there's just so much controversy about fertilizing tomato plants, and the recommendation was very high. So I'm going to give it a go. I can change quite quickly, and I have to fertilize every 2 weeks or so. So I'm going to give it a go and see what happens. It's always important to make sure that you mix the fertilizer precisely with what the manufacturer suggests. And this particular fertilizer requires 5 milliliters to a liter of water. So let's go ahead and do that. Using a syringe is always a good way. This is a 5 milliliter syringe, and I just insert it there, soak up the solution. I'm not as good as when I was practicing medicine, I must say. There we go, that's better. Now we've got our 5 mils. Now, carefully put the top back on. And here, I've got a liter of water in this can, so I'm going to put the fertilizer in as prescribed. Just take the needle off, put it in this way so one doesn't hurt oneself. It's always important to do that. And now let's mix this solution. That looks like it's well mixed. And now I will pour it around the stem. There we go. That's the first one done. It's the second day after pruning and fertilizing. And you can see that within these 2 days, there has already been significant growth. There is more flower growth and bud growth in the brandywine plants. The moneymaker plants are fruiting, and each one of the plants within their area has produced fruit. The determinate plants are also starting to fruit. And here is the Floridade tomato, the first one. And here here are the first Roma tomatoes. Aren't they cute? Not to be outdone are the early girl hybrid tomatoes. There's the first baby tomato on this plant. And here are the first fruit of the cherry sunny gold tomatoes. Lots of buds and flowers as well. I think the fertilizer has already had an impact, and it won't be long before I will have to prune again. The next fertilization will be in just under 2 weeks, and it'll be interesting to see what happens after that. Well, there we are. Job done. The tomatoes have been fertilized and pruned. They're fruiting, they're budding, they're flowering. All's good at the moment. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I look forward to sharing more of what happens as these plants continue to grow throughout the season. And so, I wish you farewell.